Hey everyone, so I'm making this video because I'm out here watering tomatoes, got the puppies sleeping, and before we get up and do it all over again, uh, PTs, and I read something profound last night, and it's just my mind's just turning, and I'm compelled to make this video because I think it's important. So I'll get to the point. There was before I became the person we're lucky enough to get the position to run the Wildland Firefighter Apprenticeship program for the Forest Service and the BLM and the Park Service and Fish and Wildlife. I was just a rookie looking for a cookie, the Wildland Firefighter, and something coming up I got to see before the apprenticeship and academies started, and it's still going to this day. And so back in '89, before it started, or '88 before it started, it's a big deal when that thing came about, and we all wanted in. And thankfully, in 1994, I finally did get in. And 2010, I actually went back and got to lead that program for a while. So anyhow, there's some history, and this is kind of about history, maybe lost history. Once that apprenticeship program got fired up and going, there were some real special instructors who would come around and support that every year, multiple academies. The El Dorado National Forest being one of those, and the El Dorado Interagency Hotshot crew especially. Leadership on that crew now realize there was fire behavior curriculum already. There were S classes, what we call the S curriculum. There's a class called S290 that was you had to have this class to go on to get your crew boss ticket punched to go to crew boss class, which that we always looked at it, or the people that were leading it at the time looked at it as 290. Very important, because that was the gateway to the class that let you that you needed to start leading other people besides just yourself around the fire line. All that boils down to, that's the point where people now you're not just responsible for doing dumb things and killing yourself, you're killing 19 other people, chances are. So it's a very important class. The leadership on that hotshot crew, and this was going on when I got in the academy, and before '94, they took that class so seriously that they made folks come out of the academy, come home, and retake a specific curriculum. It was the same 290 class, but taught by a group of North Zone instructors. If folks didn't get that class, apprentices at the academy, they'd come back home right out of the academy and have to take that class on their module, doubling down on it. And that specific curriculum that was tailor-made by hotshots off of that IHC, off of El Dorado, and others, but really it was the El Dorado contingent that put that together. So anyway, it was a very important class, and very specifically tailored, very important. So for sure, like that's many years we're talking that went on. The cadre is still in existence today. The North Zone S290 cadre, Intermediate Fire Behavior Group. That class, without a doubt, it got rid of the book. It hardly used it only used the book portion of the curriculum as much as it had to stay legal. The rest was built by hotshots and hell attack folks from Big Hill. I mean, you name it, fuels officers and others from the El Dorado and the Lassen. And anyhow, yeah, that class has saved lives. It's the most important class I've ever had in my career, for sure. I was lucky enough to get it from that cadre when I went through the academy. So, to fast forward now, for sure, my point there is that that class, and the fact that the hotshots would make their folks retake it if it wasn't the right curriculum, they would make them retake the S290 cadre's curriculum, without a doubt, saved multiple lives, kept more people than we can count out of fire shelters, and got them home safe for Christmas dinner. And I mean, that's the point, right? So I just read this article from the soup, it's hard to say former soup now, Humpy, that Aaron wrote as he's walking out the door. Now he an ardent supporter. He's being one of them kids that probably had to take that class twice. And during his career, and certainly my time at the academy leading it, he's instrumental in providing leadership, providing operational help, planning help, logistical support to make those Wildland Fire Academies successful. Now, he just wrote a letter that everybody needs to read, and I'm like, I don't know if it's more important that your families read it or for you to read it. I mean, everybody needs to read it. The words of a hotshot superintendent, you know, he's not a slouch by any means, a very stand-up individual. Those words are profound, and like I said, it's got me just, my brain's just exploding still. And I read it last night, and I've read it 14 times since. It's heavy, but my point here is that you know, I couldn't be more prouder of that guy, of that program. Look at the people they're making. You know, he came up from boots bottom up to lead that crew, and I'm really thinking that maybe this letter that he wrote, that might be save more lives than all the rest of the history that the crew had of doing all that great work for us and for the Wildland firefighters coming up here in California and other places, taking S290. Like I said, that's kept people safe and brought them home for Christmas dinner for sure. But this letter that he wrote with his words and his truth, I'm thinking that may be their biggest, at least equal on par, or if not the biggest contribution that that hotshot crew has made to schmucks like me and other up-and-comers and even leadership. So I just want to say thanks, and I hope everybody reads it. I'm going to put the link here in this YouTube video, and I hope you share it. I hope you share it far and wide. It's just amazing, and I really appreciate him, and I appreciate his words, and I think you will too.